A common misconception among some people when they first see ultra-wide screens is the idea that the screen is too narrow vertically. Because we are all so used to a 16:9 aspect ratio, and whenever we have run into 21:9 aspect ratios before, it's been at the cinema where the projection area is so huge you don't notice the potentially narrow feel. When a new user then comes across a 29-inch or 34-inch 21:9 PC screen, the first thought in their mind is how narrow it feels, and I won't deny, I thought the same thing when initially laying eyes on my first screen. Because we automatically assume the expected height of the screen is in line with the width when using a 16:9 aspect ratio. We expect a lot more height for the width we see. However, when you actually look at the facts, a 21:9 screen has exactly the same number of vertical pixels as compared to a 16:9 one. For example, a 16:9 1080p screen, so that's 1920 pixels wide and 1080 pixels tall, has the same number of vertical pixels as a 21:9 1080p screen. Just in this case, the 21:9 1080p screen has 2560 pixels wide and is 1080 pixels tall. Instead of thinking of 21:9 screens stretching out 16:9 screens, you need to think of them as adding pixels to the sides of 16:9. You are gaining, at 1080p resolutions, 640 more pixels horizontally. And the same applies at 1440p. You are gaining 880 pixels horizontally. Hence why when 21:9 users talk about gaming, they talk about seeing more on the sides as compared to 16:9. They don't talk about losing vertical visibility because, well, you just don't. Now, just to put a comparison on this, if 21:9 screens were compared to 16:10, for example, a dying aspect ratio, but one I'm sure many of you will have used at some point, then yes, 21:9 would lose a very small vertical view in comparison. 16:10 1080p is 1920 by 1200 pixels. It's 1200 pixels tall instead of 1080 pixels tall. That's 120 more pixels in height at 16:10 than at either 16:9 or 21:9, giving 16:10 that noticeably more square look. And that's it, with numerous comments coming my way saying 21:9 is too narrow to work on compared to 16:9, most notably for things like coding. I needed to get across the point that it's just not. It's identical in height, and I don't want the misconception perpetuating any longer. Anyway, I hope that helps out some people. Maybe it was just something you had heard before buying a 21:9 monitor and wanted to see what people were talking about. For anything else 21:9, be sure to check out my channel, and if there is anything not there that you would like me to cover, comment it down below and I'll try and cover it. Be sure to subscribe for lots more content, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, then links to my Patreon page are in the description. See you later.